we withdraw the consciousness inward, and then it's much easier to concentrate and to get in touch with these internal qualities or with our intuitive superconscious mind.
And Yogananda devoted, actually, if you recall, a whole chapter in Autobiography of a Yogi to the science of Kriya Yoga. And he doesn't give the technique in it, but he talks about the origins of it and the benefits of it. By the way, if some of your listeners haven't heard or read Autobiography of a Yogi, we have it on our website as a free online book that you can read. So we really love to share these teachings and make them as accessible as possible. But as we've been saying, Kriya Yoga is a very, very effective technique for taking us beyond the conscious mind into the superconscious experience.
Well, I can tell you it's a big book. I mean, I credit anybody who can read it online. I mean, I literally carried that with me for a long time.
Good for you.
To get through it. And the Kriya Yoga evidently did not stick to my mind. I was so fascinated with his journeys and his travels and his becoming and so forth. It was just amazing to me. But you said that, for example, George Harrison, who was the Beatle, was a disciple of Yogananda, and he practiced Kriya, and that he put pictures of Yogananda and his line of gurus on the cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. Did he help to popularize and make it more mainstream, do you think?
Absolutely. The yoga was completely unknown, basically, when Yogananda came to this country in 1920. And he started a revolution where, and especially after the Autobiography of a Yogi was published, that was read by millions of people, including George Harrison. And they were very taken, the Beatles were very taken by it. Of course, they were at the time the most popular band in the world. And so millions and millions of people were looking to them and the music and the kind of revolution that they started. And so by him publicly declaring his interest in this line of great masters, including Yogananda, it of course popularized that a great deal. And it was actually a very fine service to mankind because it turned people in a more spiritual direction.
But there also have been other kind of iconic figures in our times who have, if not become disciples of Yogananda, were greatly influenced by Autobiography. One was Gene Roddenberry, the creator of the Star Trek series, and he said he got most of his ideas of space travel and materialization and beaming people up from Autobiography of a Yogi, and he had it in his office and said it was a very important book. And of course, Steve Jobs, Apple's founder, again, one of the formative individuals in our times. Autobiography was the only book that he had on his iPad. He read it every year from when he was 17 years old. And at his funeral, he gave away 500 copies of it. That was his request. So his impact, Yogananda's impact through people who influence others is very, very great. And during his lifetime, he met with presidents of countries all over the world, industrialists, scientists, and he was really, as we said, he sparked a spiritual revolution in the West.
Wow. Well, now, how did you all get to be the spiritual directors of Ananda?
Well, I started by reading the Autobiography of a Yogi, and then I found a direct disciple of his, the founder of Ananda, Swami Kriyananda, and I began taking lessons with him in meditation and physical hatha yoga in San Francisco before Ananda was founded. And then in 1969, we acquired land in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada in California, Northern California, and began the first of many communities. And I was, one might say, his assistant. So from 1967 on, I was being trained by him, and increasingly, Davy and I took on responsibility for the expanding organization of Ananda. And then when when Swami Kriyananda passed away in 2013, he designated me as his spiritual successor.
Well, that was quite a path you traveled. So how can our listeners find you? What website? Do you have books there that you want them to learn about? Tell us a little bit about how to get in touch with you.
Okay, Gail. Well, I think the mothership is ananda.org, ANANDA. And that will take you to all the books that are published. We have wonderful online classes that people can sign up for, both on meditation and healing and effective attitudes for right living. And we'll be on that website as well. Jyotish and I are in the middle of doing a tour on the West Coast called Choose the Light. And we've done major programs in San Francisco Bay Area, just got back from Los Angeles. We'll be doing one in Seattle in June, and we'll be doing one in Portland, Oregon on July 21st. The Portland, Oregon one will be live streaming. And if you go to ananda.org/events, you can find out how to sign up for that. But as we say, we've both written a number of books, and we have a weekly blog that we have readers from all over the world called Touch of Light, and people can subscribe to that. So these are good ways to stay in touch. We also, if people are interested, we have a meditation and yoga retreat in Northern California called the Expanding Light, and people do come from all over the world. We're open every day and teach yoga, meditation, have wonderful vegetarian meals, and it's in really, it's hard to describe the beauty of this community, Ananda. We're one of many globally, but this was the first one and the most developed, and it's really breathtakingly beautiful.
So your listeners can imagine a community with 700 acres, about 250 people, all dedicated to living lives of peace and harmony and in uplifted consciousness.
You know, that's wonderful. I wish we could just pick you up and drop you exactly where you need to be to solve the issues of the world that are going on. But this sounds wonderful. So again, if you want to find out about some of the events and you want to see the live stream, go to Ananda, that's ANANDA.org/events, and you'll find a whole bunch of information there, and you'll be able to see some of the events that are coming up. And maybe you can even go to Portland, Oregon on the 21st of July, because you're holding it at the historic Multnomah Hotel, correct?
Correct. Yes. And that's, in fact, Yogananda spoke there during his lifetime, so that's why we chose it.
I think it's wonderful. Well, it has been an absolute delight and an absolute education for me. And I want to just thank you for being who you are, because we need more of Jyotish and Davy. We need them, because they're the ones who hopefully will get us on this pathway to peace that we all really need to be on and should be on. So I really appreciate you being with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gail. It's been a pleasure to talk with you, and you're also doing a wonderful work through your broadcasts and everything you're doing. So we're all sharing together this beautiful opportunity to help raise consciousness.